In a you know what load of trouble here, but I'm talking about single motherhood tonight. Hi, my name is Chrissy Bellevio. I am a busy mom, and I'm a busy single mom and an entrepreneur. And the other night I asked my audience for subject suggestions. I wanted to know what they wanted to hear about or what I've spoken about that they already liked, because I want to make sure I'm providing value. Now, having said that, I do not just come on here to, try to just tell everybody what they want to hear or what I think is going to, I want to draw a huge audience. I'm not going to lie. Of course, I want an audience. Hi, Beverly. But I have to be authentic. I'm not going to come on here and pretend to be somebody else. I'm not going to. There might be certain subjects I don't talk about because you know how polarized our country is right now. But at the same time, I'm not going to quite back away from my beliefs, So I do have something to say about single motherhood, and I don't think it's going to be what a lot of women out there think it's going to be. And some of you may not agree with me or may not even like what I have to say. And for that, what can I say? This is what I feel, and I'm hoping that you're open enough and intellectually honest enough to listen to my opinion and not go crazy over it, okay? So, my opinion about single motherhood. I feel like in our culture, in our media, single motherhood is like, you're held up on a pedestal. Single motherhood is held up on a pedestal in, movies, TV, books, and it's kind of like a righteous thing. Oh, she's a single mother. Oh, she's a single mother. Well, I don't agree with that. I don't think that should be the message out there, especially to our young women, and the men as well. Okay, a lot of us, if you do a little reading and look, try to educate yourself, even if you don't, I know you've heard these statistics, okay? The children or the family of a single parent, let's face it, most of the time, the vast majority of the time, it's a woman. You're gonna probably be living around the poverty level or below. Those are statistics. That can't be argued. That's reality, okay? Also, single women have a higher risk of violence, of being attacked. Let's face it, bad guy knows there isn't a man at home. That's reality. Like it or not, fair or not, that's reality. Okay, we also know from numerous studies of our prisons that very often children brought up in a single parent home don't fare as well. Now, I'm speaking statistically. That doesn't mean everybody, but we all know that, okay? So that right off the bat should tell you that, being a single mom is not, being the children of a single parent household is not the best thing for the children. Now, I know there's no guarantees. I know there's absolutely no guarantees. You could marry the most wonderful person in the world. They could get hit by a bus next week. But I also read another study they did. Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining me, Donna. That said the most important decision that will affect your future and your future happiness that you make is who you marry. Who you marry. Not being the CEO, not your career. It's who you marry. And let's face it, we know people out there that have wonderful marriages, wonderful family life, and we also know people that have gone through hell because of marriage, right? Broken families, devastation, heartbreak. So who you marry is a big factor in how happy you're going to be in the future. We don't teach our kids that. I do. I teach my children that. I don't know what's happening to my light here. Because I don't want them to be divorced. I want this to end with me. Woo. Yikes. My parents were divorced. I'm divorced. I really want my children to try to avoid that. Like I said, nothing's guaranteed, but these kids, these young people really need to take that terribly seriously. Now, who am I to say these things about, being a single mom? And, well, like I said, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom for 21 years. And I really feel strongly that this message of marriage and how important it is for your future and how important it is for your kids really needs to get out to our young people. Because I will be honest with you, I'm going to tell you something about myself that I'm not proud of, but I did not take marriage seriously. when I was a young 20-something, girl. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for joining me. As a young woman, I watched the movies a lot. I read a lot of women's magazines. One in particular I cannot stand, but I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if I can get in trouble saying it, but I don't want to get in trouble. But I bet a lot of women would know what I mean, because I look at it now and it's like soft porn. It's disgusting. But anyway, I was filling my head with all these images of single women, career women, single moms, women that led a life of, okay, I'm not a nun, but some of these stories were really racy. And there was this message that men were not needed. They were not necessary. And I see that. I see that in a lot of our young women these days. I think that message is even stronger today. And it's a terrible message. I see a lot of young women that have an attitude that, men are dumb, that their husbands are dumb, that they don't know what they're doing. I saw on a thread a woman saying she was mad at her husband, and I'm sorry, her husband was right, but she was mad at her husband, and she said, another woman said, my husband would never dare voice his opinion to our child without talking to me first. Hello? What is that? These women really don't see the importance and value of the man. And I think it's being self-centered. Because you know what? When you have children, it's not about you, honey. It is not about you anymore. It is about your children. Even if you don't have children yet, but you're getting married and you want to have a family, you better make damn sure you take your future children into consideration when you are choosing that man to marry. You need to choose somebody who's got the guts to stay for the long haul, because marriage is not for wimps, and you need a man who's going to be a good parent. And you owe that to your kids. Even before they arrive, you owe that. I did not know that. I was stupid. I was stupid, took it lightly. When I married the father of my children, I had that gnawing thought in the back of my head that this guy was probably not good for the long haul. But I'll be honest with you, I did have a little bit of an attitude. Well, there's single moms everywhere. If they can do it, I can do it. I don't need him. Well, maybe I don't. And that's a little bit of a lie. It's not easy being a single parent. It'd be nice to have somebody to talk to at night, besides my mother. I love you, Mom, but, it would be nice to have like a team effort, bringing up my children. But it wasn't the right attitude to have for my kids. Okay? It wasn't about me. I owed my children to at least try to ensure they had a good father who was going to be around for the long haul. Like I said, there's no guarantees, but come on, you got to do your work up front. So, this idea that these women have, that they can do it all, is BS. Okay? Because you can be a wonderful mom and you can raise great kids. But, this idea, when you watch TV, you see these women on TV beating up men, beating up the bad guys. Come on. Oops. Come on. That is not reality. Okay? Children that grow up in a home without a father, they have a certain level of insecurity. I remember my son at 4 watching Batman beat up some guy on TV or a cartoon. And he asked me, hi, Darlene. Hi, Lynette. He asked me, Mommy, can you beat up the bad guy? I knew what he was thinking. I felt so terrible. And I was like, are you kidding? I can kick his ass. And my son was happy. But how long can you fool a 4-year-old or 5-year-old or a 6-year-old? Come on. So they do have a certain level of insecurity. But I'll tell you, no matter how great of a mom you are, there are some things you cannot do, okay? You cannot teach your son to be a man. That is a man's job. You cannot do it. You are not a man. Therefore, you cannot do it. Another thing you can't do, you cannot show your daughter how she should be treated by a man, how she should be respected, honored, loved, and cherished. You can tell her, but you can't show her. You can't give her that experience before she's out in the world dating boys. Only her father can do that. So that's kind of my take. I'm trying to think. I had notes here because I don't want to get myself in trouble, although I might already have gotten myself in trouble with some of you. Okay, so I said that already. So those are things you just can't do. I'm sorry. And I have tried to be the best single mom I could. I have given my all. I've made mistakes. Regardless whether you're a single parent or not, you're going to make mistakes. But you know what? If I could do it all over again, I would have put a huge effort into finding a good man and making sure to the best of my ability that they had a father growing up. Because like I said, you can do everything. You can work so hard and be the best mom you can be, but you cannot be a dad. You cannot be a dad. And this message that men are not important in society is a very dangerous one. And I get really upset with women that I hear, spew this crap. Because very often it's not them that suffer. It's the kids that suffer. It's the kids that suffer because mom did not value marriage and value the role of fatherhood and a male influence in the home enough to at least do her best to make sure that they had a dad. So that's my take on single motherhood. If you are a single mom, God bless you. It's not easy. I know, because I'm a single mom. It is not easy. But I guess my message is for the younger women that aren't married yet. If you're going to get married and have kids, it ain't about you, honey. It's not going to be about you. It's about your kids. And you owe your kids the best marriage possible, the best father possible to, as much as you can do that before you have children. You owe that to them, to try your best to make that kind of a home for them. Now, if you are a single mom, I heard a great podcast. I know you're shocked. I listened to a podcast today. Because single moms do need support. They do need support. If you all know single moms, they need support. If you have a brother or if you have a great husband, please share them. If you know a single mom who's got a son, ask your wonderful husband to spend some time with him. If you are the brother of a single mom, step up. Because both those kids need you. You need to go over there and show that boy how to be a man, and you need to treat that girl like a princess so she doesn't put up with bad behavior when she gets older. I'm going to try to read some comments. I am a divorced mom with great kids, but I see Dad was out of the picture at a very important time. And yes, you do see it in their lives. I mean, listen, I'm not here to judge or put down. It's just a fact. And if we're going to be intellectually honest, okay, and not push a political agenda or not be defensive. None of us are perfect here. I'm not perfect. I already told you what I did. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But, don't try to, don't get defensive or, follow that men are no good line. I'm not buying it. I think a lot of women are sick of hearing that. We don't buy it. But don't do that to your kids. Your kids need good men in their lives. Hey, Melissa. Let's see. Karina says, I think she's saying, love you, Chrissy. I love you too, Karina. Anyway, that is my take on single motherhood. It is a good subject. It is a subject we need to talk to our girls about. I have more to say about, women and what's going on today with women and men, but that's, probably already talked too damn long as it is. But anyway, as far as single motherhood goes, if you want to hear more about that, I really need something a little more specific. I'm sorry, I forgot to read this website. What is it? It is The Life of Single, did I write that right? thelifeofsinglemoms.com. And they have on there, you can go and you can find a support group or you can start a support group. And that would be a great thing because single moms do need support. Anyway, that's my take on single motherhood. I hope, I don't know. I have to be real with you guys. I have to be real. I have to be authentic. That's a subject I'm really passionate about now that I'm 52. I'm 52 years old and you're 20 years old and you can tell me what you want, but I've been down that road. At least hear me out. At least hear what I have to say and give it some thought. Be open-minded, be intellectually honest with yourself, okay? Anyway, if you found value in my video, please like it, please comment. I would love to hear your comments on this. I will be so nervous if there's no comments. I'll feel like everyone's mad at me. If you know a young woman who is approaching that age, or maybe she's got a serious boyfriend, or if you know somebody who would find value in hearing this, please tag them in the comments, or better yet, share it on your profile page. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.